be lesson 3.4, pages 124 to 127. Today's focus, we're going to learn how to graph points. And I bet you already know how to do that because we did this last year. We're also going to use the Pythagorean Theorem to find distances on our coordinate plane. So Pythagorean Theorem, who remembers the Pythagorean Theorem?
Me.
All right. Caroline, what's Pythagorean Theorem?
A plus B squared equals C.
All right, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. How many of you got that right on your entry ticket just a second ago? Good job. I might make that a bonus, you never know. All right, so let's get started on our notes. I want you writing on your note packet, and anything I write, you write. Anything that you think sounds very, very important, you write it down as well, okay? Now, remember, a coordinate plane, I took this, I literally lifted this first page of notes right out of your book, okay? So it's a direct copy right out of your book. A coordinate plane is a grid formed by the intersection of two number lines, okay? So you have a horizontal number line that's going to be intersected by a vertical number line, okay? And we're going to use a coordinate plane to locate and name points. So that's a skill I want you to learn how to do today, is if I give you a point, can you, on a coordinate plane, graph where it goes? And then, can you do the reverse? If I give you a point on a coordinate plane, can you tell me the name of it? So we want to be able to do both, okay? I give you a point, you graph, you take a graph, tell me the name of the point, okay? I want to be able to do that. All right, let's look at the anatomy of a coordinate plane, okay? Hopefully this will sound really familiar, okay? Let's start over here with the quadrants, okay? When you create and crisscross a vertical axis with a horizontal axis, how many groupings did you just subdivide? Four, okay? Now, if it's not really obvious on your paper, because it's really not on mine, what you may want to do is just kind of darken that first vertical line right here and right here. Just darken it on your paper so it shows up really, really, really well. I don't think your book did a good job of making sure that that stood out, so let's darken that. Okay? Now do you see four separate areas that those two axes just created? Yeah. Those areas are quadrants. Now what does the word quad mean? What does that root mean? It means four, right? Quad means four. Okay? Tri is three, bi is
4, 5, 2.
like bicycle. Tricycle. Okay? And then about a monocycle. Mono.
3.
One.
That's like
Okay.
unicycle.
So uni is one, right? Okay. So now the way that they label the quadrants is it goes counterclockwise. The way that they number them, and so we start, and counterclockwise just means against the clock. We're not going the same direction as the clock. And so quadrant 1 is going to be here in the upper right-hand corner. And then from there, we're going to go around away from the direction of the clock. So upper left is quadrant 2, bottom left is quadrant 3, bottom right is quadrant 4. So there's that counterclockwise motion. A lot of students miss that, so make sure you study that and you know what quadrant. You never know. I might ask you. You might see it in your work today. Here's a point. Here's a given point. What quadrant is it in? Let me ask you what quadrant it's in. So you got to be able to graph it and then tell what quadrant it's in as well.
So it's going counterclockwise.
Yep. So you always start here in the upper right, and then you go back. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to go counterclockwise when you name your quadrants. Go counterclockwise. Okay? Now, let's start over here. Let's look at our y-axis. That's your vertical number line. So vertical, that's what we call the y-axis. Hopefully that's really, really super familiar to you. The y-axis, anything above 0, that's where all your positives are. Anything below 0, that's where your negatives are. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay? The x-axis, which is our horizontal number line, okay? Anything to the left is negative, anything to the right of 0 is positive. So it's just two number lines that have crisscrossed each other. Okay, that's all a coordinate plane is. And of course, where they crisscross, this is very important, we call that the origin. That's where our two axes intersect. That's the origin. Okay? The name of that point is 0, 0, because you're at 0 on the x and you are at 0 on the y. It's the name of the point 0, 0. Okay? So far, so good? So hopefully it sounds really familiar. If it doesn't, I'm so sorry, and I will send you the video link and you can re-listen to this lesson. Okay? Now, an ordered pair, remember, what's always going to be your first number in an ordered pair? X. What's always the second number? The Y. Okay? So when you're telling me the address of a point, you're always going to give me the X, where it is along the x-axis, and then where it is on the y. Always x first, then y. That's always, always, always your pattern. Okay? Now, let's take a look. They've given us a point here, 2, -4. 2, -4. And they called it point A, and they have it labeled here on your coordinate plane here on your graph paper, just above. So 2 is in green. You can't really, that blue-green color, you can't really see it on your note packet. But when you start at the origin, you're going to go over to +2 on the x. That's what that means. Go to +2 on the x. The second number says go down to -4 on the y. And there, that's where you would locate the point 2, -4. Is right there. And of course, what quadrant is it in?
The
fourth quadrant. Okay? Roman numeral 4, IV. That's fourth quadrant. Okay? So, any questions on that so far? Just some basics right here. Let's go ahead and flip our page and let's get, I've got set up for you some graph paper right there in a coordinate plane. We can do all of this on the same exact coordinate plane. Okay? I'm going to do the first one with you, and then I want you to do the next 3 after that. Okay? So the first one is point A, and we want to graph 2.5, -3. Okay? They don't always have to be integers. A lot of students are like, I don't know what to do. It's not a whole number. It's not an integer. I don't know what to do. I'm going to show you what to do when it's not. When you have a decimal, sometimes you have to estimate. Okay? It's not a big deal. All right? So you always start at the origin. When you're naming points, kind of like your home base is the origin. Okay? So here it is. We're at home base. Now, the 2.5, remember, that's where we're going to move on the x-axis. 2.5 is positive. So which way on the x am I going to move? Am I going to move to the right or to the left?
right.
Going to move right. Positive means go to the right 2.5 places.
How do you do a half on a graph?
Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you. Watch. Okay, can you see over my shoulder here?
Yeah.
All right, start at 0. Here's 0, 0. There's the origin. We're going to count over. We're going to go over 1, 2, and then a half is right here. That's 2.5, roughly right there, just halfway between 2 and 3. Now, we're not marking our point there. I'm just showing you with that little line that that's 2.5 over on the x. Okay? Now, the y is -3. So on the y-axis, now we're going to move vertically. -3, does that mean I go up 3 or down 3? I go down 3. So starting here, I'm going to go down 1, 2, and then here it is. That's the name of point A. That's where it is located. That's -2.5, or excuse me, 2.5, -3. That's the address on a graph. This is where it looks like, okay? Now, what quadrant is it in? That's fourth quadrant. Okay, what's this one?
1.
So here's 1. What's this one?
2,
This is 2. This one?
3,
This is 3.
4,
And then this one's 4, right? Okay? So yeah, point A is in the fourth quadrant. Okay? Now I'll do one more with you. Just make sure you got it, and then you can try the other two on your own. So here's point B is at 3, 5. So first thing you're going to do, start at the origin. Okay? Now we're going to go to positive 3 on the x-axis. 1, 2, here's positive 3. Okay? Now we're going to go up to positive 5 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mark it. That's the address. That's where B is located. And what quadrant is it in? It's in quadrant 1. Okay? Take a second and try C and D on your own. Try C and D on your own and see what you can do with it. All right, let me get somebody to come up and show us where C is. Mia, come show us where C is. And let me get Will to show us where D is. Here you go.
I'm doing C, right?
Yep. Nicely done. Good. All right, hand off the pen to Will, and Will, you're going to show us D. Great job. Great job. Nice. Excellent. Now, did you guys get what they got?
Yes.
Did you graph it correctly?
Yes.
If you didn't, correct it on your paper now. And what is it? Ask yourself this question. What is it that I reversed the axes? Did I miscount? What caused me to not get it right? I want you to ask yourself that question. Go ahead and fix it. And then if you have questions, feel free to ask me. Okay? So what quadrant is C in?
The third one.
Third, bottom left. And of course, D is in the second quadrant. You got it. All right? So let's flip the page. Flip 2 pages, try it on your own, and graph those points on the coordinate plane. Do that now. Do that now. See what you can do with E, F, G, H, and J. I did give you a couple that had decimals in it, just to see how you did on it. Make sure you're on page 4 in your note packet. Check your page real quick. Make sure you're on page 4. Page 4. And we're going to find a couple on our own. Okay. There you go. We're trying E, F, G, H, and J on our own. Okay. Somebody want to come do E for me? Chase, come up and do E.
Can I do that?
That's G. Just make sure you label it. Perfect. That's perfect. All right, hand off to Lily. Lily's going to do F. Good job. then hand that to Zach. There you go.
Am I doing G?
You're going to do G for me. You got 2 decimals. Good. And you put G beside that so we know what that is. Nice. Anyone want to come up and do H for me? H. Feel an extra brave. No, some that hadn't been up already. Anna Rock, you want to try one? Come on up and do H for me. Let's see how you did on that. And then anybody want to do J for me after she's done? Sydney, you want to try J? Good. And just put the letter beside it. Good. All right, and Miss Sid. Here you go. Excellent. It's looking good. I think we have this concept. Yeah, but it's okay. I can get it back. Don't worry about it. 1, 2, 3. So you don't count that as 1. That's 0. So that's 1, 2, 3. There's 4. Okay. Good. And if you put a J beside it, that would greatly help me. Good job. Okay, let's take a look. And let's see how you did on your own. So E, Chase did this one, and you're coming back 4.5. So there's -1, -2, -3. Here's -4.5. So about halfway right here. And then down 2, 1, 2. Marked it beautifully. What quadrant is this?
3.
Third quadrant. Exactly right. Exactly right. Okay. Lily did F. She came back 3 units, -1, -2, -3, and then she went up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What quadrant is she in?
A.
Tell Lily to go up or down for it.
Yeah.
If it's +4, then you're going to go up. If it's -4, you're going to go down.
So you go that way.
On the x-axis, positive is right, negative is left. Okay? Y-axis, positive is up, negative is down. Okay? If you need to do this, you can also do this. You can come back and label each of your little segments just like that. Okay? If that would help you. And then you'll know, okay, I see what I'm doing here, and you can label them just like this.
Or we don't want to have a quiz on just this. We're going to have some other stuff.
It'll have other stuff on it. It'll have other stuff on it. If it would help you to label each individual line, do that. Do whatever helps you so you're tracking it well. Okay? That doesn't bother me, doesn't hurt my feelings at all. You do what will help you. That's what I'm after, okay? All right, let's see here. G, Zach did G for us. He went out to 3.5 and then went up 1.5. And here's where he landed, somewhere it's nowhere near a grid intersection. That's okay. Sometimes they're not. What quadrant is Zach in?
The A, B, C, B. 1, 2.
That would be 1. Upper right's first quadrant, okay? And then, no, start over here, upper right. And then H, we've got 1 and then -5.5. So we're going all the way down to 5.5. And here's H somewhere down here. That's great. What quadrant is she in?
4.
That's 4. And then we have J, which is 4 and 4. Perfectly done. What quadrant is J in?
The
1.
1.
Oh, I got that.
Okay, so we're getting a little quicker with it. We're getting better at it, but that's what we're after. Hey, great job. Let's back up to example 2. We're going to find distance on a coordinate plane, and I'm going to show you a little trick because this is going to. Example 2 will be on page 3, I believe. Okay. So example 2 is going to tie in the Pythagorean theorem that we tried at the very beginning of class. Hopefully you remember because that was what our test was on. Okay. So the library is 5 miles north of your house. The post office is 6 miles east of your house. To the nearest mile, how far is the library from the post office? Now I want to show you how you can make this an actual triangle, right triangle, on a coordinate plane, okay? We're going to let our house be right here at the origin. This is going to be our house, okay? Now when you think about a compass, from where I have marked on your coordinate plane where the house is marked, where is north? Point. Point. Which way is north? According up. We're going to go up, okay? So what we're going to do is from our house, we're going to mark where the library is, which is 5 miles north. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's 5. And we're going to mark that. That's the library. Okay? So that's going to, I'll just put a little 5 out here to the side just so you can remember that's where it's located. All right? Now the post office is 6 miles east of your house. So go back to your house. Which way is east? Right. So we're going to go east, right, 6. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's 6. And that is the post office. Okay, now I might change colors if I can remember how to get those. That's what, Sydney, that's what you pressed was, there it is, my little thing. And I can actually change colors of my line to make it stand out a little bit better. So if I connect these together. So here's a red line connecting our house to the post office. Here's a red line connecting my house to the library. What angle was just formed here?
Yeah.
90-degree angle right there. And then they're asking us, how far is the library from the post office? So this is what we're trying to find, is right here. Do we have a right triangle?
Yes.
We sure do. Do we know how far of a distance house the library is?
5 miles.
5 miles. Do we know how far the house is from the post office? 6 miles. Do we have enough information to plug into the Pythagorean Theorem? Let's do it, okay? So we've got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. What's a squared? We can call it 5, okay? So then that means b squared has to be 6. What's 5 squared?
25.
What's 6 squared?
36.
And then add them together for me.
It's 61.
70. Oh, shoot.
61? And then we want to take the square root. Now let's look back at our directions really quick. It says to the nearest mile. So what that means is you will need to round it. So if it's 0.5 or higher, round up to the next whole number. If it's 0.4 or lower, leave it at the whole number you already have. So what do we have here? So it's about, I'm going to switch those to little squiggles, it's about 8 miles in length. So that's how far the library is from the post office. So that's a little tie-in with using Pythagorean Theorem and putting it with our coordinate plane. Now flip to the very back page, last page of your notes. Okay, now I'm going to help you set this up, but then I want you to solve it, okay? Now let's see here. Your school is 3 miles south of your house. The general store is 5 miles east of your school. To the nearest mile, how far is your house from the general store? So where do we want to mark our house? At the origin? Yeah, let's put this. Let's mark that as our house. Okay. Now, school is 3 miles south. So we go down. 1, 2, here's 3 miles south. So this length right here between our house and the school is 3 miles. Okay? Now the second sentence says the general store is 5 miles east of your school. Not from your house, from your school. So start at the school. Which way is 5 miles east? Right, yep, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's 5. There's the store, okay? The store is east of the house. What are they asking us to find?
How far the house is from the store?
How far is the house from the store? So we know that this length is 5. This is what we don't know right here. We don't know how far the house is from the store. So use the Pythagorean Theorem now and calculate that. See how you do on it.
Do you bring it to like the next one?
Yes, to the nearest mile. To the nearest mile. Okay? Now while you're finishing that up, I'm going to come around with your exit ticket. Please remember to work in pencil.
Only Miss Cookman's class goes by like
Really slow.
really slow. Like I'm sitting there, I'm just like, when's this class?
While you're working on your exit ticket, I'm going to write your assignment up on the board.
It's Thompson handbook.
Pencil, yeah.
I like how it.
All right. Once you get your exit ticket done, if you will grab your exit ticket and your half slip of paper you did at the beginning of class, slide it back in the drawer. On your way out of class, when the bell rings, you can do that. Write your assignment down. Today, I want you to do 126, 12 through 24 even.